Okay, next thing, I want to do some review examples I want you to evaluate. Okay, this is just simple 4 parentheses 3 plus 2. Now dots, you got a number sitting out there, so we need to put a dot there. There's 4 times parentheses 3 plus 2. We don't have minus, so now we go parentheses, have it, so 3 plus 2 is 5, so I now have 4 times 5. Okay, that's 3 plus 2 is 5. Multiplication, 4 times 5 is 20, and I don't need to keep going because that's the answer. Next problem, 6, and then negative 6 plus 5. So put the dot there, and then 6 times the parentheses, negative 6 plus 5. 6 times the parentheses, negative 6 plus 5. There's no minus, okay? So parentheses, yep, I need to simplify that. So negative 6 plus 5 is negative 1. So we have 6 times negative 1. Then multiplication, the answer is negative 6. So I don't need to keep going. Okay, next one. 7, parentheses, negative 4 minus 3. So again, dots, you put it multiplication dot there. Now let's see if we have minuses that we can fix. So I can just go P, M, A. 7 times parentheses, negative 4 minus 3. I believe I said minus right here. So plus, and that 3 afterwards, negative. So I do my parentheses first. Negative 4 plus negative 3. That's negative 7. So I have 7 times negative 7. And that ends up as negative 49. Now we're going to run into a problem on this next one. We got 8 parentheses 3x plus 2. So we put a dot there. There's no minus, but we have a little problem with our parentheses. There's more than one thing inside it, but we have x, and we don't know what x is. We cannot add those either, because that has an x. That does not, okay? Those are not like terms. We can't put them together, okay? So parentheses is there, but it can't be done. So multiplication. Now we have a dot here. We can multiply, and here's how we multiply. It's known as a distributive property. Okay? Distributive property. In the distributive property, you circle your plus, and you draw a rainbow with the 8 to the 3x and the 8 to the 2. So you got 8, 8. And you will multiply 8 by 3x, and you will multiply 8 by 2. Now some of you are saying, well, I can't multiply 8 by 3x. The 8 doesn't have an x, the 3 does. That rule is for addition, okay? You can multiply them. 8 times 3 is 24, and then x. 8 times 2 is 16. We always put a plus sign there. So the product multiplies 24x plus 6. Now there's no division. Now let's talk about addition. We can't add anything, okay? Because if I write x down, the only thing with an x is 24, and the only thing without an x, the only constant I have is 6. So that's the end of the problem. Okay, let's do some more of these. Okay, again, the directions are to simplify. So we have 10 parentheses 3x plus 2. So I would put a dot there, and there's no minus, okay? So parentheses, yes, you have it, but you can't simplify it with the x in there. Multiplication. Okay, I have this 10 outside. So I circle the plus, and I apply the distributive property. Okay? So that means 10, I put twice, and then I times first by 3x, and then by 2. 10 times 3 is 30. 10 times 3x is 30x. 10 times 2 is 20. Okay? So we have 30x plus 20. Multiplying is now done. There's no division. And adding, I cannot add these. That has x, that does not. So that is the answer. Okay? 7 parentheses x minus 4. Okay, so a dot would take place there, and I said minus here, so plus, and then 4 is negative. Okay, so parentheses, yes we have them, but we can't simplify it with the x in there when we aren't putting a number in for it. Multiplication. Yeah, we need to take 7, we need to apply the distributive property. dp means distributive property. So I circle that plus and I distribute 7 to x and 7 to negative 4. So 7, 7, first times by the x, then times by the negative 4. You're like, well, 7 times x, what's that? It's 7x. 7 times negative 4 is negative 28. Okay? So I'm going to write 7x plus negative 28. Multiplication's done. No division, adding. Now we do have addition, but that has x, that does not, so it's done. I've simplified as much as it can be simplified. 12 parentheses 2x minus 3. So again, apply a dot right there. If you have minus, we're going to rewrite it in addition form. So 12 times and then parentheses 2x minus 3. I said minus right there, so plus negative. Okay. Alright, so parentheses, yes I have them, but with x inside I can't simplify from inside. Multiplication, yep. So you apply the distributive property, okay? So 12 to 2x, and then after the plus sign, 12 to negative 3. The plus sign kind of separates them. So we've got 12 and 12. We're going to first multiply 12 by 2 with its x, and then after the plus we multiply 12 by negative 3. So 12 times 2 is 24 with x, 12 times negative 3 is negative 36. Okay? So after I multiply, I have 24x plus negative 36. Multiplying's done. Okay, no division obviously. And then adding, this is my only x, this is the only number without x, so really I wouldn't add anything, that's my answer. Next up, negative 4, parentheses 2x minus 3. So times, and we have a minus there, so plus, negative. Okay, so parentheses I cannot simplify with that x, that letter inside of there. I don't know what I would come out of there without the letter. Those first 3 problems I did on this video, I'm able to simplify because there's no letter. But now when there's a letter, an unknown letter, we can't. Multiplication, yes I do. I apply the distributive property. Okay. So I circle the plus because that separates it. So negative 4 to 2x. And negative 4 to negative 3. So negative 4 times by 2x, and then times by negative 3. So negative 4 times 2 is negative 8 with x. Negative 4 times negative 3 is 12. So we have negative 8x plus 12. So multiplication's been done. No division. And adding, I cannot add those. There's nothing to add. We have x with a negative 8 and then got constant of 12. Okay, next one. Negative 2, parentheses 3x minus 4. You need to apply a dot here. Fix the minus here, so plus 4 is negative. Okay, parentheses, I cannot simplify the parentheses. Multiplication, yeah, from the outside, that's known as the distributive property. So it's like you're drawing rainbows. So negative 2 to 3x, and I circle the plus, and then negative 2 to negative 4. So then I write plus down, okay? And then I go negative 2, First, I'd multiply negative 2 by 3x. Then I'd multiply negative 2 by negative 4. So negative 2 times 3 is negative 6 with x. Negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8. So we'd have negative 6x plus 8. One thing you want to, I know I haven't been doing it, but one thing you might want to get in the habit of doing is after you have found both the products, you want to cross out the parentheses and the number in front. Okay, and there's nothing else there. Okay, division, nope, and adding I can't do in this problem. Okay, right there. Next, we got negative 2, or no, we just did that one. Negative 4, parentheses 6 minus 2x. Okay, so I apply a dot right here, and then we got 6 minus 2x. Okay, I said minus, so it's plus negative. The 2 is now negative. So parentheses, I have it, but I can't simplify it. Multiplication, yeah, from the outside. That's the distributive property. Okay, DP, distributive property. So I circle that plus, and I take negative 4 to 6 before the plus. After the plus, I go negative 4 to negative 2x. Okay, don't forget the x on the negative 2. So negative 4, negative 4. First, before the plus sign, we have 6. Then after the minus sign, we have negative 2x. So negative 4 times 6 is negative 24. Negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8x. Okay. So I write negative 24 plus 8x, and then I cross out the parentheses and the multipliers. So that's it. Division, nope. Addition, you cannot perform any more addition. You can't perform any addition because the 8's multiplied by x. The negative 24 is not. Okay, next one. We got 8, parentheses 10 minus 3x. So we apply a multiplication dot there, and then in the parentheses I have minus, so plus negative 3x. Okay. So parentheses, can't simplify. You got it, but you can't simplify it because there's an x in there. Multiplication. Well, yeah, there's a dot right there. So the dot outside the parentheses means I apply the distributive property. Okay. So since I can't simplify my parentheses from within, so I need to come over the top. Okay. Circle the plus. So 8 to 10. And then 8 to negative 3x. So I've got 8, 8. First times 10. Then after the plus times negative 3. But don't forget the x is still connected to the negative 3. So 8 times 10 is 80. 8 times negative 3 is negative 24x. Okay. So I just transition over here, and I've got 80 plus negative 24x. Then get rid of the parentheses and the 8, and everything's gone. Okay, division. Don't have any division. Addition, well, you can't add because we just have two numbers. One with an x, one without. Okay, that's your answer. Okay, last one. 4 parentheses 2x minus 1. So I apply a multiplication dot right there. In the parentheses we do have a minus, so I make that a plus negative 1. Okay, so parentheses, you have it, but you don't know what x is, so you can't simplify it. Multiplication. I'm not even going to do exponents. Okay, multiplication. Well, yeah, there's a dot. So what I need to do then is apply the distributive property. I come over the top. 4 to 2x. Circle the plus because a plus separates it, and then 4 to negative 1. Okay. So 4, 4. Now the first thing we multiply 4 by is not just 2, we multiply it by 2 with its x. And then after the plus we have negative 1. So 4 times negative 1. So this equals 8x, this equals negative 4. So I drop that plus straight down, and I've got 8x, negative 4. Okay, so now with that being said, I cross out my parentheses in the 4, and there's nothing else there, so I continue on my steps. So division, there's none. Addition, well, you got a number with an x plus a number without an x. You ain't adding nothing. That's the final answer.